Hey everybody, welcome to Littlejohn's Yarns. I'm Alysha. As I usually say, if this is your very first time here, what we like to do is sip a little bit of wine and talk about crochet. So how's everybody doing right now? Where are you from? What time is it where you're located? And what's the weather like? Well, right here, it's a beautiful day. It's 74 degrees. I can't complain. My husband's been outside in the yard doing some yard work. I've been cleaning the house all this morning. So it's been a pretty productive morning. And after this live stream, I'm doing nothing. Well, this live stream, I don't consider it work, but it's part of my relaxing, part of my Saturday afternoon. So how's everybody doing? Let me check in. Oh yeah, can everybody hear me okay? I got a new little lapel mic. I see my daughter, she is in a live chat. Hi, Jada. Jada is my favorite daughter in a whole entire world. And true, I only have one daughter, but she is away at college right now. And it's almost been a full month. It's been 3 weeks since she's been gone. And I miss you very much, sweetheart, my little sugar biscuit. As long as Isaac's not listening, you're sugar biscuit number one. I wish I could turn the camera. Hold on. Little man, no shirt on. He's been rocking like no shirt, just being comfortable. He gets upset when I call my daughter sugar biscuit number one. I call them both sugar biscuit number one and two. If one's not acting right, the other one is number one, or vice versa. Okay. Oh, and I'm sorry if this is your first time here and you're wondering why am I talking so much and you want to get directly into the patterns. Don't worry. All these patterns that we'll be looking at, which are 10 free chunky bulky yarn blankets, they'll be all listed down in the description box below. So I didn't get into the chat. Let me see what's going on with everybody. Oh, everybody's saying hi to Jada. Hey, Miss Gloria, how you doing? She's saying hi from Chicago. And we got Shannon and Love Crochet by Sarah. She says, hey. So let me tell you exactly what we're talking about. Like I said, we're going to be looking at 10 free patterns for bulky yarn crochet blankets. A lot of people love to crochet blankets, and I understand they're fun, they're beautiful, and are actually useful. Myself, I do not like blankets, not because I don't love the way they look. It just takes so long. I love a quick crochet project where you can get it done within a day and you're like, look what I made. So these blankets are for people like myself, where you can use big, thick yarn and get through the patterns quickly. Oh, I left your comment up. Sorry about that. So before we hop into it, I usually like to ask you a question or two first. So if you notice, like, why is she asking so many questions? I like to talk back and forth to you. This is a live chat. This is how we get to know each other. All right. So the question I'm going to ask you before we get into the first two patterns are, what is the very first thing you made? Before you put it in the comment box, make sure you put question marks in front of it so I can see it and bring it to the front. If you notice those other little comments I had, and I clicked the button and a comment popped up. So that's what I'm going to do for your comment. So I guess we're going to hop right into it and we'll chit chat about what's going on in life once we get back. All right, let me share my screen. And the first pattern we are going to look at right here. I have to get my script ready. This is the granny stitch. The granny stitch is my all-time favorite crochet stitch. I especially love the granny squares, but the granny rectangles are much better for good size throws. This super bulky crochet blanket pattern is made with Caron Chunky Cakes. Cake yarn makes your life so much easier because you don't have to worry about color matching, changing colors, and weaving in extra ends. The designer of this pattern is Yarnspirations. I always love a good granny stitch because they always seem to work up so much quicker. Let's check out any other pictures that they have. That is pretty. Let's get into the very next pattern. Oh no, what's up with the pictures? That's weird. All these are weird. But as long as you can see the picture right here. This is the number 2. This is the family room throw. Thick and squishy Burnett blanket yarn keeps this crochet throw nice and cozy, even though it's made with a lace crochet stitch. In honesty, this is the best of both worlds, especially since a lace stitch will help you stretch your yarn stash further for a nice size blanket. You can learn how to crochet this cute V-stitch blanket by following along to both video and written instructions. The designer of this pattern is fiber flux. Okay, and they also have a video tutorial along with it. And remember, guys, if you want to check out any of these free patterns, they're all linked down in the description box below. And I would also like to mention what I do every single live stream. You can always, I can't remember which side to point to, you can always help support through Super Chat. When you do that, you'll see a little dollar sign next to your comment box with a little dollar sign on it. It's green. When you click on that, it's a way of donating to people like me during live streams. It helps me continue creating patterns and live streams and reviews like this all the time. But when you do, my point, right? The lights will go off, and over this side, the bubbles will go off, and you'll get to spin the wheel of patterns, and I will give you one of my patterns from my Etsy shop. So I got that through. So the question that I asked you, what is the very first thing you've ever created? I should have said more a pattern or something you made yourself or something with functionality. Is that the word? I'm not sure. So if you've been on my live stream before and you watch me, you probably already heard this story. My grandma taught me how to crochet when I was 7 years old. And one of the first things I made, it was for my father. It was a watch cover. Why he needed a watch cover, I don't know. But all it was, I think it was 2 rows of double crochet. But let's say it was double crochet, but there was a little open, I should turn it this way, little open gap just for the watch face to fit through. I designed it myself. I was so proud. I'm like, Daddy, look, I made you a watch cover. He put it on his wrist that one time, and I don't think I've ever seen it again, but I was very proud of my very first crochet pattern that I created myself. So let me hop into the comments and see what was your very first crochet pattern. But remember to put question marks in front of it so I know to bring it to the front. Let's see. Vicky. Hexagon Afghan back in the 70s. Back in the 70s. Didn't know they had wool yarn. Yarn do when I bought my Red Heart yarn, which was all they had. Oh, she said she didn't know they had wool yarn back then, but that's how she had at the time was Red Heart. So when I washed it, the wool hexagon squares shrunk. Oh, because you didn't know about wool shrinking. What? How? I wonder how big or small your Afghan shrunk to. Ooh. Let's see what else. Oh, thank you very much. Anonymous Amy, one of my faves. Let's see. Lady J says, a chunky brunette blanket with single crochets. I bet that was a beautiful texture. If it's going to be a first blanket, at least it was that chunky brunette yarn. Oh, you did a small stitch, but luckily it was a big, thick yarn. That's pretty. You should have told me how long ago you made it. I don't know if you've only been crocheting for a little bit, a long time. My girl, JoJo Juju, who has her own Addy Express, or I should more say circular knitting machine YouTube channel. She says, grade 8, I did leftover yarn blanket for my bed, and it is still, you still have it, and you still have it. Oh, that's awesome. I don't have anything that I crocheted from when I was little. My mother was not the type of woman, she's not a pack rat. You know what I mean? If you haven't touched it in a year, it needs to be gone. So I wasn't very sentimental with those things, and I tossed them out. But luckily, I do have things that my grandmother made. And I have this one, it was not my grandmother. It was my grandmother-in-law's mother. So it'd be my husband's great grandma. She has this crocheted lace tablecloth. It made in crochet thread. I still have. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's huge. I couldn't imagine all the time she spent on it. Okay, I'm hoping I'm going to pronounce your names right. Vesla, I hope I said that right. I made a hat for the first time. Love from Bulgaria. Oh my goodness, cheers to you. What time is it right now? It has to be late. Thank you for staying up and being on my live stream with me. I appreciate that. Hey, Maria, you're not late at all. I've only been talking for a couple minutes. Brittany, she says, a scarf for a doll. I'm pretty sure it was only a single row of single crochets. I'm so glad I have a lot more patience when it comes to crocheting. I think I did make some things for my little Barbie dolls. Like you, it was probably like chain stitches and called it a scarf, or a double crochet in a round and called it a skirt or a tube top. Let's see. Sharon. She said, probably a scarf. It was so long ago, I don't remember. After that thing that I made for my father, I really don't remember too many things that I made. One of my favorites is back, Leanne. I learned to crochet chain when I was 10 and made a bracelet with the beads in it. Didn't wear it, but treasured it till this day. Do you still have it? I wonder. Victoria, another one of my friends, she said she made a washcloth. Was it a swatch? Were you learning how to make a stitch and then you called it a washcloth? How old were you? Okay, Ashanti, a baby blanket when I was about 12. Wow, I never made a blanket. My grandma used to make blankets in no time. I used to see her start chaining, you know what I mean? When I would spend a night over the weekends at my grandmother's house, she would start chaining. I would go outside to play. And by the time I came back in, my grandmother had like a lap full of crocheted Afghan already all completed. I'm like, what's going on? Hey, Annette. Good afternoon, everyone, and Alysha. Hey, my girl. Loving Crochet by Sarah, a scarf when I was 12. All right, so we went over a couple of those and what were the first things that you crocheted. And if you're just getting to this live stream and you're wondering where exactly are the chunky blankets that is advertised on the thumbnail, don't worry. It's down in the description box below. You can just avoid me, go directly to the patterns and look at them all. But like I always say, we're sitting here talking. Let me have some wine. My mouth is getting a little dry when I talk so much on the camera. Is my daughter still in a live chat somewhere? I haven't seen her anywhere. Tell me hi, Jada. Where are you? Okay, I'm just wondering because I don't get to see her. I'm thinking about going up to see my daughter at a college it would be next weekend, but the weekend after that because I miss her. All right. So the next question that I'm going to ask. All right. This is a crochet question. What is one of the hardest stitches for you that you've tried to complete and you just can't get right? So what is it? Let me know. Before you comment down in the comment box, make sure you put question marks in front of it so I know to bring it to the front. So what is the hardest crochet stitch for you? All right, let me take a sip of my wine. And let's hop back into this pattern roundup. This blanket here, let me scroll so you can see it better. Hope you guys can see. This is called the Blue Waves blanket. If you visited the craft store lately, then you know it's hard to miss this mega-sized Caron anniversary cake. The Blue Waves blankets from Yarspiration give you an excellent excuse to buy one for yourself. The design calls for single and double crochet stitches along with spike stitches. The designer of this is Yarnspiration. That is a cute stitch. Oh, only one picture. Okay. Next chunky blanket. Let me scroll down. Oh, goodness. I might have to refresh. That's not a good enough picture for you. There's a good picture. This is our number 4 blanket. This is called the Chunky Feather and Fan Throw. The feather and fan stitch strikes the feather and fan stitch strikes an excellent balance between easy and interesting that will have you hooked on this chunky throw from start to finish. I love the super bulky yarn crochet blanket patterns that keep things interesting. The design calls for just single and double crochet stitches. The yarn is Lion Brand Woolies, thick and quick. The designer of this is Persia Lou. This is a beautiful pattern. Once again, I like a pattern like this because the stitches, look how big and huge these stitches are. The yarn is huge, it's lacy. I think you'll be able to get through this pattern in no time. So back to me, the question that I asked, what is the hardest stitch for you that you haven't been able to complete? Okay, I'll go first. The hardest stitch for me has always been, what is it? Is it the broom stitch, the broom lace stitch? It's when you take like a thick crochet hook or whatever and you crochet around it. I think it's called the broom stitch. Yeah, that's what it's called. For some reason, I can do the stitch, but when I repeat the stitch over and over, it gets real loosey-goosey. And no matter how many times I try it, I just can't get it right. It just makes me mad and frustrated every time, and I toss it out. So that is the stitch that I just can't get past or get over? All right, let me hop into the comments and see what you guys have to say. And remember, put question marks in front of it. Let me scroll all the way down. Ooh, roaming with Rover, third loop. I can't figure out where the third loop is. The third loop is easier to find, what is it, in half double crochet. When you look at the top V, if this is the top of the stitch, okay, here's the stitches up and down. I'm going to turn the stitches this way. So I'm looking at the regular V. On half double crochets, if you just tilt it just a little bit, you'll see another strange V on the back. There's probably going to have you, even though you probably tried it millions of times and looked at millions of YouTube videos, but maybe just look with the half double crochet. Post stitches, always twisted. Oh, the post stitches are one of my favorite stitches. You're going to have to work hard to get that. It's one of my favorite because it can create so many designs. It is weird. I don't know if you can guys hear this. My son's playing Fortnite in the other room, and I hear him screaming like, help me, I'm going to kill you. Good parenting, Fortnite. Okay, he got me all off topic, but post stitches, those can get twisty. Find a good tutorial. Let's see. All right, Jesus, the V and treble. Oh, really? Like the V stitch? Or treble, V and treble, or treble crochet stitch? Let me know, because I think you know those ones. The herringbone stitch. It looks simple, but I just can't get it. Discovered your channel today. Thank you for having me. Is the herringbone stitch the one that looks like the knit stitch? Okay, we're going on a field trip, guys. Oh, one more quick thing. If you guys just got here and you're wondering where the patterns are, and I'm talking too much, the patterns are down in the description box below. Right now, we're going on a field trip and looking up the herringbone stitch. There we go. Crochet herringbone stitch. I think I'm thinking of the, no, I'm thinking of the camel stitch. Let's look at it. I just want to see a picture, not the tutorial. Ooh, is that, I don't know if I've done the herringbone stitch before. I think I'm gonna have to give that one a try. It looks like it might be tricky. Let's see. Maria says, single crochet foundation chain. I screw it up every single time. Don't worry, the foundation chains, I love doing those, but every single time I decide to do it, I have to YouTube how to do it. The steps fall out of my head, and I literally have to chant. Like, okay, you chain 2, going through the loop. I have to count or create a chant in my mind, like loop 1, yarn over, pull through. Loop 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And that would be it. That's the only way I can remember it. I don't remember it. I use, what do they call it? Technology amnesia, where you can't use your brain anymore. You use technology for it. That's why I use YouTube. All right. Oh, reverse single crochet. That's another one of my favorites. But reverse single crochet can be tricky, but because when you take the, if you don't know what reverse single crochet is, imagine crocheting in a single crochet this way, but instead of going this way, you go the opposite way. So you're putting your hook through the stitch behind it and pulling up a loop. What makes it tricky, the 2 loops that are left on your hook before you pull through to complete that single crochet, they're twisted and it's hard to see and it's weird. But when you can complete it, it's gorgeous. This goes back with Maria, double crochet foundation stitch. Those foundation stitches, the single, half double, and double crochet for the foundation rows, they all can get tricky. I have to YouTube them every single time. Leanne, don't know if this counts, but I have a tendency to make my first stitch in a magic ring way too tight. So So it's really hard to make the first increase in that stitch. Yeah, I do that too. Bobble. We have Tunisian crochet. Victoria says bobble stitch never pops for me. Know what? Bobble stitches, when I work through the row, after I'm done with the row, I'll go back and make them bobble. Or is that the popcorn stitch where you have the popcorn stitch has the three? Yes, popcorn stitch will have the stitches linked together, and a bobble stitches is just the extra yarn over it multiple times. Oh, all right. So we're going to hop right back into this. Let me get a sip of my wine. Oh. All right. So the question that I'm going to ask you for this next section, we went over the most difficult stitch that you could not get. What stitch that you think was hard is actually not, that you were able to get real easy? What have a stitch that you were avoided for so long, and now you're like, oh, why didn't I do that? So before you comment down below, make sure you put question marks in front of it so I know to bring it to the front. All right, so let's hop back into this roundup. We did this one. All right, can you guys see that? Sorry about all this. I should refresh the page, but that'll take too long. This is called, wait, did I share my screen? Yes, I did. This is called the Sunset Stripe Blanket. Have you tried Tunisian crochet yet? It's a fun and interesting crochet technique that resembles knitting or weaving. The stitch works in super solid with no holes, so it makes for an extra warm and cozy throw. The Sunset Stripe Blanket will give you lots of practice with this new technique, and you'll love the modern look of the finished results. The designer of this pattern is One Dog Wolf. That is beautiful. You know what? I have not I've Tunisian crocheted before, like a swatch, but as a pattern or something in a top or a hat or anything like that, never. And I've always thought it was so beautiful because the texture, gorgeous. But you know me, them tiny stitches be getting me. I just can't get past it. And speaking of Tunisian crochet, one of the Tunisian crochet queens, here's one by Teal Yarn Craft. But this blanket actually is not Tunisian crochet. Let me get a better picture for you to look at. Here we go. Get out of here, ad. All right, this is called the Sherbet Afghan. Here's another one of our super, oh, hold on, wait. My bubbles didn't go off. We got a super chat. Where's my Oh, is it not plugged in? It's not turned on? My bubbles aren't working. Oh, bubbles. Sugar biscuit. Okay, but let's see who did send a super chat. We're going to get these bubbles working. There's nobody near me that can bring me some bubble stuff. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it so much, Boxer Dog and Crochet. Cheers to you. And you get to spin the wheel of patterns. So let's pull up the wheel of patterns. Let me pull down your comment. All right. So let's give it a spin. Let's see what you will land on. You receive my crochet choker. I'll let you see what the choker looks like right here. To receive this pattern, you have to email me at littlejohnyarns@gmail.com. Don't worry if you don't know the email. If you click down the description below this viewer right now, you'll see my email address. Just copy, paste, send me a message and say, hey, I got a free pattern. And I'll send it right over to you. So thank you so much for donating. And we're going to get this bubble machine working. Oh, my goodness. Bubbles. There we go. Poor look. There we go. There we go. Now we got it working. I should have been more prepared. All right. So where were we? And guys, if you want to look at any of these patterns, they'll be down in the description box below. So here's one of those super bulky yarn crochet blanket patterns that's made with Lion brand wool ease, thick and quick. With 70 shades to choose from, there's so much room to play with color. Pastels and neutrals are the chosen colors for the long and lacy Sherbet Afghan. Design uses half double crochet and V stitches. The designer of this is TLC Yarn Crafts, one of my favorite YouTubers. All right. So what was the question I asked? Oh, what was one of the stitches that you thought were difficult and it's actually not? I should have been more prepared. The stitch that I thought was difficult, it's not called crochet lace. It's made, oh, it's made with this thing. Loom, crochet loom, lace loom. What is this called? Where you crochet across it. I'm so glad. I hope somebody reads this in the chat. But what this creates, I'm going to take you on a yarn field trip after this. As soon as somebody tells me in a comment, what is this? I cannot remember the proper name, but what this is, it's great. It is easy. You can make so many things with it. So let me check in here and see what you guys thought was actually hard, but came out to be easy. Let's see. Oh, Stephanie, thank you. Stephanie, please, you email me at littlejohnyarns@gmail.com, actually, and you're going to get to spin the wheel of patterns because on my end, she was the first one to respond. So if somebody says, I responded first, on my end, she's the first, as you can see right here. You're going to spin the wheel of patterns just for helping me out, and I appreciate it so much. Strip. That's supposed to say granny stripe hat. Here we go. This run right here. Make sure you email me at littlejohnyarns@gmail.com. Thank you so much, Stephanie. But hairpin lace. Now I'm going to take you guys on a field trip to show you what it looks like. It seems like it'll be complicated, but it's not. Hairpin lace. There we go. Images. It creates this super beautiful texture right here. Look at this. Gorgeous. Have you ever seen those like summer beachy tops made with this type of design? It's made with this little gadget right here. It looks complicated, but all it is like, back to my face, crochet, twist, crochet, twist. It's like a chain twisting over and over, and it creates a beautiful design. All right. I agree, Vicky, the star stitch. I don't know how many times I have tried doing the star stitch. The star stitch, and also there's another, the something lover's knot, something loop knot, Celtic knot. And it's not Celtic knot. I don't know, but you have to work back in, you chain and work back into the original, and I just can't get it. Somebody said corner to corner. Where is that? Where is it? Corner to corner is super easy and super hard all at the same time. If you don't twist it right, it gets weird, especially that first part of the corner. It's weird. It trips me up every time too, and I've been crocheting my whole life. And I like a good corner to corner. But once you get past like the C2C, once you get a little bit further, it's easy. It's just the beginning kills me every single time. Let's see. Oh, Ashanti wants to know, how does Super Chat work? Well, Super Chat, like I said, if you see down below in the chat area, you see a little $sign. When you click on that, you're able to spend like a certain amount of money, whatever you want to donate, from 99 cents to whatever. And it pops up on my end. And when that happens, lights go off, bubbles go off, and you'll spin the wheel of patterns. So that's pretty much what Super Chat is. But it's also a way, if I'm missing your comment and you keep saying, she's ignored me, I automatically see it. It pulls to the front. If you guys have a really specific question you want, like, I want her to see this, this is a good way to do it also. And it's also a nice way to support, and I do appreciate it. Let's see. Okay. Carla Naturally says, I was very intimidated by the cable stitches and garments. Last year, I faced my fear and made a sweater with cable stitches. Beautiful. Cable stitches, that goes to the person that didn't love post stitches. Post stitches and crochet creates these beautiful cable stitches. It can be intimidating, but like you said, once the cable gets started, the crochet pattern basically tells you where to put the next stitch. And I'm so proud of you for moving into garments like you. People are like, oh, Alysha, you've been crocheting for 30 years. I've still made very few garments myself just because it's intimidating and it's a bigger project. But cheers to you. I'm proud of you. You conquered that. I need to do more. Let's see what else is going on. Exactly. Yours truly by Rose. I love Tunisian crochet. TL Yarncraft is the best for learning Tunisian. I'm making a blanket for my husband, all out of Tunisian sampler blanket. You get another cheers. Those stitches are so small, but they're so beautiful. I always give my hats off to my son screaming, headshot, headshot. I should just take my, you know what? You guys want to hear my son? No, I'm not going to take you guys all the way in there. He's just screaming so loud. What was I talking about? Oh, people who do amigurumi, who do Tunisian crochet, who worked with crochet thread. Those are like my superheroes of crochet. You guys all need a cape. Oh, have not got to your channel in a while. I love your hair. Thank you so much. I like it too. You know, I'm trying to be younger. My birthday's coming up next month, the end of October. October 25th, I will be the young age of 41. So maybe I'm going to start. I'm like baby midlife crisis. Am I middle aged yet? I think I'm at the beginning of middle age. When does middle age start? Maybe I'm starting to have my crisis now. What's up, crafty chats? Weirdly, the treble crochet stumped me for ages. I don't think I didn't have too much trouble with the treble kit stitches. I have trouble naming those extended stitches. About a month or two ago, I did some patterns with like treble crochets, and they're okay. How am I going to phrase this? A treble crochet, you have to wrap the yarn over twice. Then, you know, you go through the whole spiel of pull through two, and you're complete. But for extended one, you can wrap up to, I think 9 times is in American terms, octuple. No, that's 8. Non-tuple. I don't know. Non-tuple treble crochets. They're such huge, big words where you just wrap. The names of those got me. Oh, you're still fighting the back post double crochet. Oh, I hope you please learn those. I wish I can give you a good way. I don't have my stitches out now. But when you look at a post, this is your post stitch. Let it be a double crochet, a half double crochet, or anything like that. That's the post of it. When you think of a back post double crochet, I want you to go back behind your work. Okay. I want you to go back behind your work, then scoop up behind it. You need to see a stitch. I can't help you from here. But once you learn it, it's so beautiful. Okay. You like that Tunisian stitch? I need to get on it, JoJo. I need to do so much better. So JoJo, what are you making on your YouTube channel? Let me know what's going on, what's new. I haven't whipped out my Addy in so long. When I first started my YouTube channel, I did lots of Addy patterns, and all of a sudden I just switched over to crochet and I never went back. I actually have my own Facebook group. Oh, I have to add this in. Guys, if you're just into this live stream and you're wondering where are the big bulky crochet blankets and I'm talking too much, all these patterns are down below in the description box. Click on a link and it takes you to all these free patterns. But I have my own Facebook group. It's called Littlejohn Yarns, Crochet, and Addy. And I guess people forget that I own the group, and I was posting some of my crochet patterns in my own group. And this one lady went off on me. She's like, you should not be posting this crochet pattern in this group. This is an Addy group and so forth and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's wonderful, ma'am. This is my group and I can post whatever I want. This is a crochet and Addy group. And I think I'll remove you from my group for just being so mean. Why are you running the rules that aren't yours? Don't be making up stuff. Oh, I just went off on a tangent. Check out her YouTube channel, JoJo. She's the best. All right, let's see. Scroll down. Oh, this is what JoJo is making. Mr. Bacon is a pig doll. He is so cute and love him. I cannot wait to see him. LOL, passion for yarn is all the same. True. That's for those people in my group that are mad because I post my crochet in my group. All right, guys, so we're going to hop back into this roundup and get some more of these patterns. But as usual, I'm going to ask you a question first. So this is a good one. We're talking about blankets. How many blankets have you made in a course of your crochet hobbydom? Is that a word? And as long as you've been crocheting, how many blankets have you ever made in your life? Crochet blankets. Let me know in the comments. Before you do, make sure you put question marks in front of it so I can pull it up to front and we can talk. Oh, and also, I always mention this every like half an hour or so. You can always help support with Super Chat. When you do, it's a way to donate to YouTubers like myself during live streams. And when you do, the bubbles will go off, the lights will go off, and you'll get to spin the wheel of patterns. And I forgot to mention, if you guys would like to join my YouTube membership, you'll see that little button down below that says join. For those are people who get special perks. You get special perks from special emojis, live streams, monthly giveaways, behind the scenes videos, what other stuff? I'm giving so much written patterns, my the secret of selling crochet book. You get a lot of stuff. Just click the join button down below. Don't worry, you won't join immediately, but it'll take you to a video that explains all the things that you get when you join the membership. There's 2 levels. You have the yarnies, who are the lightweight lovers of yarn, and the yarnivores that love all thing yarns. So down there's 2 levels down below. So now we'll hop back into this. Here we go. We did that. We did this. All about Amy. She's one of my favorite crocheters. Come on, give me a good blanket picture. I'm sorry, guys. I should have had these pictures pulled up before. I'm cheating. I'm just going to go to my blog and pull up her picture. This one right here. All right, I'm sorry about this. This is our number 7. This is the chunky braided cable blanket. Super bulky yarn crochet blanket patterns are an excellent opportunity to do some cable work. The thick strands of yarn give the cable stitches a great definition, so it really stands out. This design uses Line Brand yarn color clouds, and it calls for single crochet, front post double crochet, and back post double crochet, and front post treble crochet stitches. Oh my goodness, the people that said they hate the post stitches will not love this. But for my girl who already conquered the cables, maybe you should try this out. See, I would try this one because the stitches, look how big and huge they are. Love it. All right. Oh, wrong part. Where am I now? Here we go. Oh, this is a beautiful color. Okay. I want a good picture for you guys. Can you guys see how pretty this is? Let me scroll. This is called the Ripple and Timed Throw. Doesn't this colorful blanket just make you want to run your hands all over the texture stitches? I'm obsessed with the rich colors and rich textures in this fantastic crochet throw. The stitch sampler styles design uses Caron chunky cakes, and it calls for basic crochet stitches along with some post stitches. The designer of this is Rich Texture Crochet. Oh, please loan your post stitches. This is beautiful. I cannot combine colors. Is this a blank? Where's the yarn? I want to see the yarn for this, or do I have to put the colors together myself? I don't like that. Etsy, I know she has the yarn in here. Oh, it's the cake yarn. See, that's what I'm talking about. I cannot put colors together like this at all. I am basically color incompetent. I can't match. As you can see, I got my black and white on. My daughter, she was my YouTube color coordinator, and now she's in college and she's not here to help me anymore. So I don't know what to do with myself. I can't match. I can't even match yarn. So The question that I asked you guys, I'll go first. How many blankets have, oh, wait, I see a super chat. My lights didn't go off. Oh, it went off. It's the first time I actually caught the super chat before it went off in the thing. So let's see. Maria says, I've made maybe 6 or 7, but just today somebody requested a throw from me and I have no idea what to charge. Any thoughts? Yes. Let me keep your comment up so somebody else can read it just in case we're popping in. And thank you so much for donating. I always recommend hopping over to Etsy first and get an idea of what people are charging for blankets. There are so many different ways to price your crochet. There is, some people say you material times 5. Never do material times 5, because if you're doing amigurumi, you can be only making $3. Or if you do a blanket, you can make more money, but I don't know. I prefer material plus time. Sometimes people are like, oh my goodness, material plus time can come up to like $700, depending on how big the blanket is. I think a $700 blanket is appropriate for something big. If you're making a queen size blanket, heck yeah. But I know people in the comments are going to be like, who's going to pay for that? So if you're a serious seller, check out Etsy, see what they're charging it. And Maria, I have a whole blog post dedicated to this. After this live stream, actually, I have your email. I'm going to email you my blog post on how to calculate prices. So I'm going to write myself a note. Maria, I already have your email. I'm going to send you all about the prices. Blog price. I wrote it down in my notes so I won't forget. There's like 3 techniques. There's only one technique I really recommend. It's charging by hour and materials. There we go. Oh, I know you never usually accept it because I guess you're like a friend of mine now. So, but I forgot I should let you spin the wheel of patterns. I'm so sorry. Even though you never accept them, I'm still going to spin it anyhow. Beret. And Maria, we're friends now. We've been talking for a while. If you ever want any type of business tips, send me an email. Where is my beret? Beret. I can't find it. There it is. Right there. If you like the pattern, email me, littlejohnyarns@gmail.com. Here we go. Blankets. Hannah's Crafty. At least 10 blankets. The latest is one of my hubbies. Oh, I never answered for myself. Well, let's not be a narcissistic. Let me go back to yours. That is amazing. I don't think I would make a blanket for my husband. I don't know. I'm too selfish. I'll probably make a blanket for myself and then my husband would confiscate it and then it would become his. I don't know. But blankets, I've maybe made, like yourself, 10 blankets my whole entire life. And none of them were like huge. I made a couple baby blankets. Remember back about 5 years ago? Excuse me, I burped. I've been drinking too much wine. 5 years ago when they had the mermaid blankets, I made a couple of those. But blankets, I just hated spending so much time on it. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter 20 years ago. I was rusty from crochet. I didn't maybe crochet in a couple of years. And it took me forever to create her baby blanket. Ages. And it was all warped and jacked up. And I don't even know where it is. I wish I knew where that thing was. Let's see. Kelly loves post stitches. Post stitches make everything so amazing. I love post stitches on the brims of hats. It can make a hat like elastic and stretchy. I just love doing. My one friend I used to work with, her name is Erin. She introduced me. I've always did the front post, back post for a hat where it like goes in and out. I'll do a front post, back post, front post, back post. And it creates this rib look. But she would always do front post all the way across the rims of her hat. And it made this beautiful elastic ribbing. Love it. Ooh, I'm working on an all pink blanket. I have some yarn I've been thinking to make. I don't know. I need to do something with this yarn. Can you guys see it? This yarn in the back. I'm not going to do, maybe I should, I'm going to give that stuff away eventually. I do want to make a blanket, but if I'm going to make a blanket, it's going to be with some of this chunky yarn, something fun where I can just breeze through in no time and maybe a day, 2 max. I don't want to spend more than 2 days on a crochet project. Just me. Nicole, I finished 15 to 20. I've lost count, but after this chat, the number's going to be going up. I'm glad you like these patterns. Make sure when you go down to the patterns below, make sure you favorite it so you can always go back to it and find it again. I like so far, I guess we're not done yet. Did we get to the fan and stitch blanket yet? That was one of my favorites. I think we're almost to the end of it. We did the fan and stitch blanket. That was one of my favorites because it's real lacy and loose, and it uses this blanket yarn. I can work with some thick yarn any day. I'm gonna make some slippers with these. So soft. All right, let's see what else is going on in here. Carmel Cutie Pie 82. Mainly throws and baby blankets, but I've made 2 twin size C2C blankets for my daughter. I want to make a Thomas and Friends blanket for my sons. Oh, that's so sweet. I have one C2C blanket. It's in a rainbow color. I no longer have it. I think I sold that years ago. Ooh, what else? Baby blankets. I don't mind baby blankets. One of the last baby blankets I made was a couple years ago. What was it? I think I even made it into a YouTube tutorial. The YouTube tutorial itself is kind of crappy. It's before I wrote down patterns. Oh, the one from Amy, those beautiful cables. Well, that's beautiful, those cables on hers, gorgeous. Wait till you see the next 2 coming up. So I guess I'm running out of questions. I didn't prepare any work for questions. So whatever question now, if you have any questions for me or random, what's my favorite color, what I like to do, or what do I always say? Oh, questions about business, whatever. Just ask me right now, put comments right in front so I can bring it to the front. Or if you want to brag about your latest crochet project or something you're working on, put put question marks in front of your comment, and then I'll be able to bring it to the front. This is what happens when you make it halfway through some wine. Oh, guys, if I'm talking too much, remember all these patterns are down below. And look, I got myself a new top. I went shopping on Amazon, and this top online looked so cute on the lady that was in the picture. And when I got it, I didn't like it. And I've been complaining, like, I don't have any shirts to wear. And I haven't been able to get out this week before the live stream. So I'm like, I'm just going to order online. And the reason why I'm always all over the place. And the reason why I haven't got out, my son at their school was a COVID. 4 people had COVID and 70 people had to be quarantined. My son was one of the 70 people that had to be quarantined. Luckily, he's not. We got him rapid tested, and so far he's good. But it's so scary. But that was the reason why I couldn't leave the house last week. So I ordered some stuff online, and I don't like it. It's okay. It's weird. I don't know. I have no sense of style. I wish I had my own personal stylist that would teach me how to dress, but I can't. One day I'll figure it out. All right, guys, we're going to hop back into this roundup. Sorry, I always go on to a tangent on something crazy and weird. Come on, page, refresh. Come on, there we go. This is not the picture I want. Where's the one? Now, look how beautiful this is. This is called the Dancing Diamond Blanket. 2 kinds of super bulky yarn is twice the fun with the Dancing Diamond Blanket. Barnett Blanket Yarn and Barnett Home Bundles are a match made in heaven. The way the neutral colors frame the windows of purple and pink reminds me of stained glass. This design uses single crochet and spike stitches. The designer of this pattern is Yarnspiration, and I got bubbles hitting me in the back of the neck right now. Somebody sent me a super chat. Where are you? I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you. Denise, what's up? It's a really cute. So glad your son is good. Oh, yes. It was the most nerve-wracking thing. First, the teacher, it called, I'm all over the place again. Breathe, Alysha. Take a sip of wine. She's asking about my son just had a COVID scare at school where he had to be quarantined for 14 days to make sure he was okay. He got rapid tested. He's okay. But during that time, it was so scary. What was it? Friday? My son was helping my husband cook some dinner. Everything was perfectly fine because my son loved shredded beef tacos, and he wanted his daddy to teach him how to make it. So they're in the kitchen. They're at the little, not the crock, but the pressure cooker with the meat. And all of a sudden, my son starts getting a little woozy, and he's already on quarantine. So far, he's been fine. And he starts getting a little sweaty, and he tells his dad, I was upstairs. He tells his dad, my heart is pounding. So my husband takes him back to his room. He's like, Isaac, he's not feeling good. So, I go instantly into mama bear mode. I'm like, what? I run down to my purse. I get my insurance card. I call the doctor. I'm ready to take him to the doctor right now. I don't know what's wrong with my baby. I already got a cool compress on his head. I'm like, listen, doc, this is all within 5 minutes. My son has a cold sweat. They're like, listen, lady, calm down. There's nothing you can do right now. If anything progresses, I want you to monitor. I'm like, not my baby. He might be. I guess he just had a dizzy moment. I have these type things all the time. I'll get a cold sweat and just get dizzy out of nowhere. I guess he's similar. It was just a moment and it passed. The next day, we took him down to the Med Express and got him tested. He was fine, but it was so scary. My heart, you just think such horrible things. My whole family is vaccinated. At first, I was like thinking, I don't want to talk about vaccinations and be political. I don't care. After that scare, listen, I just want everybody to wear a mask or mask and vaccinate. The fact that my son, he's too young to get a vaccination and that he could have been sick. And there's like a 30% increase in the rate of children coming down with COVID. I'm like, listen, us adults got to take care of our babies. Just saying. It's one thing when us as adults are getting sick, but now our children who are unable to get vaccinated are getting sick. We all need to be careful. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Sorry about that. And thank you, Dee Dee. Let me spin the wheel of patterns for you. I was on my big old soapbox. Okay. Thank you so much for donating, and cheers to you. So you get the barrette hat. So make sure you email me. There's the hat right here at littlejohnyarns@gmail.com. All right. Sorry. Got all energized with that one. We'll get into the very last pattern. Here we go. Did I share my screen? I did not. All right. Let me give you a good picture of this one. I like the texture of this blanket. Oh, here's a better picture right here. And this is one of our very last patterns at number 10. This is the chunky striped Alpine blanket. Understated stripes make a bold impact on this fabulous chunky striped Alpine blanket from Cypress Street Homes. This is actually a really genius way to use up partial skeins of leftover yarn from other projects. The Alpine stitch is worked using single and double crochet stitches along with front posts and double crochet stitches. The designer of this pattern is Cypress Street Home. The Alpine stitch is another stitch that I thought was difficult, was actually pretty easy. This is a beautiful stitch. This is one of those stitches you just want to rub your hands over. You look at it, it looks intricate, but it's not. I got a YouTube tutorial on how to do the Alpine stitch, but it's not about me. This is about Cypress Street Home. Go to this pattern and learn how to do the Alpine stitch. It's a gorgeous stitch. All right, so now we are going to, there's my nugget. I got to sneeze, I feel it. Okay, now we are going to go over whatever questions that you had for me. Let it be about what's my favorite color, about crochet business, what's going on in my life. Ask me now. Just make sure you put crochet. I keep saying crochet. Question marks in front of it so I bring it up to the front. Or you can just brag about what's going on in your life. Let's see. I'm going to start from the bottom. Okay. Princess Alexander. Hi, it's Princess Alexander, and I'm watching from St. Vincent and Grenadines, and it's really hot out. Hello, Princess. Beautiful name. Is your name really Princess? It's awesome. Strawberry. I'm knitting fall pumpkins with cable designs and cinnamon sticks for the stems. Ooh, that's beautiful. I remember being in elementary school and the teacher bringing in like heating up some hot cider and putting a little cinnamon sticks inside and being so excited. Hmm. Oh, hey, I know you didn't put question marks, but you're one of my faves, and your name seems to pop out easy. I don't know why. Maybe it's just Armstrong. I don't know what it is. But she's talking to Maria. She says, I hate to shop. So if I get a new job that doesn't have uniforms, I might subscribe to one of those subscriptions. Are you talking about the little subscriptions, stylist type things? I was thinking about that. There's one called Stitchbox or whatever. I just don't know how to look nice. I don't. I try. I just know how to get solid colors. I like browns. I like burgundy. I like darker browns and lighter browns and blacks and grays. Yeah, I have no sense of style at all. Okay, I just wanted to read this one to bring home the point, and I am sorry for the things that you're going through right now. But Rita's Right Brain Crochet Creation says, I have lost 4 family members and have 2 sick right now. One is in a coma and on a ventilator. I was overjoyed to get my shot. I am so sorry to hear about all your family members suffering through this right now. I'm people are ready for this to be over. And I know people are saying their freedoms for mass. Listen, if I want to have the right to have my boobs free, I'm not going to be mad because you make me wear a top. It's cover this up. I have a right to not want to breathe in somebody's germs. I have a right to want my son to go out in public and not potentially get sick. I want my right to keep my child safe. It's scary. Whew. My girl Marwell, Blind Stitches Creation, who has a YouTube channel. Hi, I'm working on an apron by Yarn Utopia. Oh, I love Nadia. Nadia is so beautiful. I know this is weird, and every time I see her, I just think she is so darn beautiful. Oh, gosh. Okay, Patricia says, I managed to score Salvation Army with yarn like a lot. There's quite a bit of hobby horizon and hobby universe. What would you suggest I make with it to really bring out those beautiful colors? Listen, remember, I am color incompetent. Don't come to me for this. I wish I can be that like that yarn guru. You can come to me and asking like, Alysha, what do you suggest for this yarn? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's bad. This is also goes along. I used to, when I was young, I went to school for cosmetology so I can learn how to do hair. So that's when I was in high school. I loved doing hair. Actually, I just loved doing my own hair. But when people came in and was like, do whatever, I would draw a blank. I'm like, no, I can do whatever you tell me to do. I can't. I have no imagination. I'm sorry. I hope you don't. I hope you're not mad at me, Patricia. Okay, this is what Lori was talking about, those subscriptions. Like it was not Stitch Box, it was Stitch Fitch. You'll find out. Oh, I'll read the whole thing for you guys. Maybe you should get one of those subscriptions like Stitch Fitch. You'll find out a survey and they'll send you outfits every month, all planned, including shoes, bags, and jewelry. Hmm. And another thing I always have issues with. Oh, and people, if you're just now getting here to my live stream and you're wondering exactly where are these crochet patterns, they're all linked down in the description box below. Right now, I went through all the patterns, so we're just chit chatting. For myself, for clothing, I don't even know what size I wear anymore. No clue whatsoever. I've been wearing the same black. I have like maybe like I don't know, maybe 100 black leggings in size medium, large, and extra large, and they all fit my body because they're elastic. So I have no clue what size I wear. I know in my tops I wear at least a large or extra large, but it all depends on where you buy it, especially on Amazon. Other countries have different sizes. In America, I've learned we vanity size like crazy. I remember I tried on one of my grandmothers. She had this beautiful Persian, what's it called? A Persian wool, Persian coat, but it was beautiful. And it said size 14. At the time, I was maybe 18 years old. I'm like, size 14, that's huge. I only weighed 125 pounds at the time. If I weighed 125 pounds now, I would probably die. But I'm like, size 14, that must be huge. At 125 pounds, then I'm 50 pounds bigger. 60 pounds bigger. Okay. At 125 pounds back then, putting on a size 14 coat from late 1950s, early 1960s, I couldn't even close it. It was like hair. And at that time, I was probably like a size 8 or something. In women's, I was itty bitty. So vanity sizes. What else is vanity? I think they're starting to vanity size bras in the wrong direction, like making smaller cups bigger. That's another weird thing. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I'm always off on a tangent. Okay, guys, if you have any questions for me, let me know. We can talk. Just let me know. I hope I pronounced this right. Jeffrey says, I'm crocheting the Adelia crochet wrap. I don't know what that is. Let's go on a field trip. We're going to find it. Okay. Adelia crochet wrap. I want to see what that is. Oh, I know her. She has a wonderful YouTube channel too. This is gorgeous. That's another thing I should do more of. She works, what is that, finger and weight yarn? That's not DK, that's smaller. That's beautiful. I always love going on field trips. Let's see. Lori, do you have a nostrums nearby? I think they have people who will measure you and help you with clothing palettes. Yes, there's a nostrums. No, I cannot afford nostrums. They're expensive. I need like an everyday lady stylist. He has not started yet, Toro A-Star, another one of my faves. My husband, he is quitting his job on the 30th of this month to start his adventures as being a cook. This is what he's always loved to do. Weirdly enough, he's always worked somehow in the food industry from let's see, he worked in food warehouse when he was young, loading trucks for like food grocery stores. And then after that, he went to fixing food equipment in restaurants. Still not close enough. Now he's finally getting into the restaurants and working in it and cooking and doing what he loves. I'm so lucky I have a husband who cooks. Okay, random story again. She was my great aunt. So it was my father's aunt. So it was my grandmother's sister. She used to tell me when I was a young girl, when I like a teenager around, she's like, you will never find yourself a good husband if you don't learn how to cook. I hate cooking with the life of me. When I was a single mom, it was my daughter and myself. The only reason I cooked because there was a law that said I had to feed my child. I hate cooking. I mean, I tried to do my best. I tried not to get like processed foods. It wasn't, you were getting a meat, a vegetable, and a starch. It was like a little pork loin, vegetable, potatoes, whatever. It was nothing fancy. If you come to my house, you eat my food, you'd be like, oh, I'm fed. You're not going to be like, oh, what's the recipe? But luckily, I didn't need to be a good cook to find a husband. It's not 1950 something. My husband, he's the most wonderful cook in the whole entire world. I could not be more grateful for that. Wow. Rita says she waited in line for 14 hours to get her first shot. Wow. I think I'm going to have to I don't know if it's official yet. The boosters come up because I have an autoimmune disease. So I would like to get my booster. I guess I'm a little nervous, paranoid, but luckily I'm not out and about in the world as much anymore. Now that I work from home, thank God, I'm not exposed as much. Here we go, Kentucky. I'm crocheting large granny square blankets for dogs at the animal shelter in my area. It's for school, but I think it's made more with love than a school assignment. Hope the dogs gets homes. I hope they do too. That is amazing. Cheers to you. No, it is like donation Christmas crochet season now. It's not Christmas yet, but this is when most crocheters start their Christmas crocheting. I guess that's how you should say it. But yeah, good job getting on it, and I'm proud of you. Sharon says, working on a basket for a mom to be. That's wonderful. Oh, moms to be. I was just talking to my mom today. We've been having some discussions about my daughter. I find it so strange and amusing the transitions that my mother, myself, and my daughter are all going through. As a child, I always see my mom as a mom. But now then, as once my daughter was born, I got to see her transition into grandmother. She became, now she didn't become my grandmother, but I started seeing her move into what my grandmother was. And all of a sudden, I start moving into the position that she was. Now I am the mother. It was strange to see. And now my daughter looked at me differently. Now we're all starting to go through another transition in life where no matter what, me and my mother, we're still both mothers. But now she's transitioning up where I'm not, knock on wood, I am entering into the grandmother, not the grandmother age, because I was a young mother, but my daughter is a wonderful daughter. She will never, she's not going to have any kids until she's 30. But once you're in your 20s or 30s, grandkids are in your age of grandparenthood, where if your child's that old. So it was weird to see myself transition into that next stage to be a grandparent. I can't imagine what that will be like in another 10 years at least. At least, if Jade, if you're listening, at least 10 years. That's going to be exciting. My husband and I, we talk about what's going to be our grandparent name. He was thinking about Paul Dukes and Ma Dukes. It's weird because my daughter calls him Pop Dukes. I'm like, what would be your granddad name? He's like, how about Paul Dukes? I'm like, if you Paul Dukes, I'm going to have to be Ma Dukes. Weird. Okay. Princess says, I think this is about crochet. My mom taught me at the age of 5.5 and made a purse. Aw. Actually, you just flooded my brains with memories about first things I've crocheted. I think purses were one of the things I crocheted too, because I was able to make a flat panel and just stitch them up the side and make like a double crochet strap. So I think, yeah, those were one of my first patterns too. Ooh, oh, Jeffrey's talking about that shawl that I just showed you guys, that beautiful shawl. Yes, you're using 3 with yarn. Ooh, what size hook? Let me know what the hook is, Jeffrey. Ooh. In-house talking about boosters because I want to know when I can get my booster. I saw somebody on Twitter say they got their booster yesterday. Could have been in Canada though. I've got the J&J one-shot version, so eager to get my booster when it's my turn. Definitely. Maria says, I didn't know you had an autoimmune disease. I'm sorry. My husband does as well. He has ITP. The ick pandemic has scared us so much. I was so happy to get our shots. Mine is my autoimmune. It's just rheumatoid arthritis where you get your joints swell, pains in all your joints in the body. I'm good. That's another reason why my crochet patterns are so small. I like to be able to get through them quick. When I spend such a long period of time on crochet, my hands cramp up and I don't feel good. So I listen to my body. I keep it small. So that's my autoimmune. but it still scares me. Speaking of, I didn't know. I just found this out just recently. I just got diagnosed, but I always thought there was something wrong. You probably can't see because right now you're probably watching this live stream on 720p. So therefore my skin looks flawless, which I love this camera, but it's not. But I have like these eczema spots all over my face. If you're like in person, you can see how bad my blemishes are. And I've had these for so many years and it's been horrible. I'm like, oh, I just have eczema. Then I kept getting always sick. And last year I got, what is it? Adult chicken pox. What's it called? Shingles. I got shingles last year. I was laying in bed like, oh, my side hurts. Shingles are not like chicken pox at all. I had chicken pox when I was little and they itch. Shingles is like somebody punched the mess out of you 8 billion times and it itches. How's that happen? So you can't scratch your itch because it hurts there. And I'm like, I went to my doctor's like, I don't know why you have it. I'm like, can I get a shot? Like, you can't get a vaccine for shingles until you're 60 years old. I'm like, how am I 40 with shingles? My just immune system is garbage. I don't know. I keep because I'm gonna read this. It's just easy. I am at work so much that I have threatened to just start wearing my PJs so I can be comfortable. Oh, my fave. You've been cooking like that? I've been cooking family dinner since I was 7 with my mom watching, of course. Everyone says my boyfriend is so lucky. I guess that this wouldn't be sexist. It's funny. My son believes cooking is man's work. He says this is what men do. Men are supposed to cook. I'm like, that's what's up. My son, just like you, at even younger, been even though I'm not the cook, but I'll like to sit with him. He's so interested. I'll cook with him, or he'll be by his father's side and just watch him cook. My son at 10, he can chop up onions, carrots, whatever, and be over the stove as long as I'm in the area. He's fine. Breakfast, he hooks up some French toast, some eggs, and bacon. As long as I feel comfortable in the kitchen area, I can literally stand back and watch him cook. My daughter, who was 20 years old, I guess she gets her cooking skills from me. My son, who's 10, can outcook my daughter, who's 20. Hands down, flat. Just saying. I mean, my daughter makes some mean oodles and noodles, don't get me wrong. But my son's the cook. And he's like you, XD70. He's been cooking from a young age, and he loves it. Me, I hate it. I love watching food TV shows. I watch Hell's Kitchen. I watch YouTube people making stuff. I watch it as entertainment. None of the knowledge stays in my head at all. You're welcome, and hi. Thanks so much for the 10 bulgy blanket patterns. Perfect to finish my Xmas gift. Man, I cannot say worse today. Christmas. I would just say Christmas gifts for family. Me too, Kathy. I love it when men cook and know. Ooh, something fell back there. My thing fell. She says, I love it when men cook and know their food and know their stuff. He knows his stuff. If you would see my the spices we got, when I cooked, I probably had like 6 spices. Some seasoned salt, onion salt, garlic salt, cayenne pepper, and maybe something weird. Another allspice. That was it. My husband, he grows sage, rosemary, thyme, spices that he has to specially order from other countries just because he just loves it. I don't know. Like when you eat his food, you can taste the individual flavors. When you eat my food, it tastes like, I don't know, I guess it has some salt or not salty. That's the flavor. I don't know. I'm not a cook. It's all right. It'll do. Yes. What my auntie talking about, I'll never find a husband because I can't cook. Listen, auntie, a good husband is the cook. Exactly. He is a great cook. I make up in other ways. Listen, as a woman, I still do a lot of stuff during the house, and I'm so appreciative that he even does the grocery shopping. When we got together, because we've been married for, has it been 10 years? 10 years. To give up the task of grocery shopping or the task of figuring out what to cook for dinner was like a weight off my shoulders. I know all you cooks right now in the chat panic every day, like, what am I going to make to eat? I no longer have that. My stress is just, laundry, cleaning the house, all the other stuff I have to do, but that is not there. Precious says, I made a 7x6 foot blanket using burlap blanket with a marshmallow stitch, but have no idea how to price it. Once again, pricing is so difficult, and the marshmallow stitch is gorgeous. While we're talking about pricing, I'm going to take you guys on a field trip so you can see the marshmallow stitch. Crochet marshmallow stitch. I would suggest that you go over to Etsy, look for something comparable in whatever technique of stitch, because this stitch is not like an easy back and forth double crochet stitch. This right here, I want to see a better picture. Oh, actually, I did a hat in the, this is the hat I did in the marshmallow stitch. Look how the stitches just pop up. This is like texture crazy. This is, I don't know how to explain it. It's such a cool shape. I want to show it a little bit closer. Does my video show? This is an old video of mine. This is before I fine-tuned my YouTube videos. Why is my video on somebody else's page? Hey, I hope they get views. Do I show the hat? Can we see the stitch? I just want to see the stitch, Alysha. I'm so sorry. Old Alysha didn't do so well. Boo. That's okay. But that stitch is beautiful. And what's the price for that? I do not. That is a big blanket. You can go to my website, Littlejohn Yarns littlejohnyarns.com. Type in price estimator or crochet price, and you should find a blog post that tells you how to estimate your prices. You can estimate it on material times 3, which I don't suggest. You can price it on hourly, which is close to it, but I still don't suggest. The third option is hourly plus material, which I do suggest with using the Etsy to get around a range of what you can get for it. Oh, Lady J, this is a good question. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel? Before I get in that, just in case the 101 people watching right now, if you're wondering where are the crochet blankets I am talking about, they're all down in the description box below. We've already been talking for over an hour, so therefore we went through the patterns. But if you want these patterns specifically, just go down to the description. You'll go straight to them. All right, so what inspired me to start a YouTube channel? Well, back in 2015, I began selling my crochet. Littlejohn Yarns started. At that time, I was, excuse me, I wasn't thinking about crochet. I wasn't thinking about YouTube or anything. I was just selling my handmade goods. And in 2017, I'm like, my handmade items were selling great, but I was just crocheting too much and not making enough money. Like, I want to make more money, but I don't have enough fingers to do it. So I thought, how about trying a YouTube channel? So in 2017, I'm like, I worked up the guts. I started a YouTube channel. I put my first video up. My first video still only has like 500 views. Nobody liked my first video, but that's what inspired. I just wanted to make more money. That's pretty much, or one of the first one was a how-to. Yeah, how to crochet. Somebody wanted to know how to crochet, and I put that up, and then I'm like, I want to make some money. I didn't make any money like the first year, but I kept at it, and now I make good crochet money on YouTube with consistent video posts and all the other stuff. Oh, Precious says, I'm making notes as you speak. Thank you, Alysha. And for those who are selling like handmade goods, I'm great with questions for people who want to make passive income through crochet, where you don't have to actually give somebody a finished crochet item. I'm the girl to go to make money with that. If you want to make money selling your finished items, I suggest you go to Karen V. Miguel. Once again, I do not have her stuff linked down below. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start remembering. She has so much information on how to sell your handmade goods. I did it, but I'm starting to realize I don't know if my information about finished selling your goods is old school or not. Well, actually, no, because I actually went through her class and she taught me. It's all about being seen. I sold specifically on Facebook. Everywhere was on Facebook. I just advertised nonstop. Loved it. Okay. Okay, am I missing anything? Oh, guys, I forgot. If you have any questions, just put the comment. Put the questions in front of the comment so I know to bring it to the front. There we go. That's awesome. So proud of you. Puff stitches. Oh, Anita, see you later. She says bye and good night. All right, I think we're pretty much running out of things to say. So we're just going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on my live stream. And make sure you check me out next week. We'll be doing this all over again. So, oh, and guys, make sure you press the join button to join one of my memberships so you can be a yarny or a yarnivore. All right, I think that wraps up everything I had to say. All right, guys, I'll see you later.